Hey, welcome back to Shay Renee Online, where we discuss food, fitness, and reality TV. Today we're going to talk about The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 11, entitled Business Like No Business Like Shade Business, okay? So, my opinion of this entire episode is it was kind of blah. Like, I feel like I would rate the episode like a 6 or a 7. I feel like this is one of those filler episodes until something really big happens. Um, there were some small moments in this episode, but, nothing really like gut wrenching, okay? So the episode starts off where Candace's mom visits the house, and they're talking about Chris and his cooking for Candace, and they discuss decorations in the house. So Dorothy's pretty much walking around the house telling her where this should go and why this don't look good here and all this, that, and the third. And Candace is just like, listen, this is my house, I'm gonna do whatever I want, whatever, okay? And they just kind of go back and forth. The next scene shows Giselle and Grace going driving, and Giselle is trying to teach Grace how to drive. Grace don't look like she doing too good of a job with the driving, but she'll get better over time. I'm hoping on it. But kudos to Giselle for taking the time to go out and do that with her. She did discuss how she felt like she really wished Jamal was there to kind of do that, but she was like, she also made a joke of saying, if she messes this car up, it's not mine. It was Jamal's anyway, so whatever. So hopefully, Grace gets the hang of it and we'll see her on the streets safely, okay? So then in the next scene, Mia talks to her mom, and she invites her to go get ice cream with the kids. And she says she's glad they went to lunch and reminds her that she said they were going to be consistent with communicating and seeing one another. She asked her mom about her sister Rashida, apparently her Rashida, which is her sister. And they talked about how the mom helps Rashida with her children. And Mia, to me, in this scene, seems to be a little bit jealous of her sister Rashida. I guess she feels like the mom, because she has two siblings outside of herself that the mom had. And I think the mom raised the other kids for some reason, but she didn't raise her. And I think that Mia probably is a little jealous of that, and then she feels bad because the mom is actually there for the sister and her children. But I think that's mainly because the mom lives with the sister. So Mia kind of says she feels like they have a codependent relationship. I don't know that it's codependent. I feel like she just has a better relationship with the sister. And also, Mia, I don't know if they have the same dad or not. Well, Mia did make the comment that they all had different dads. So maybe the mom she did say that Mia looks like the daddy now. So, maybe Mia just brings up old wounds for her, and she's just trying to navigate through that. And I think Mia is trying to force the mom into a relationship that she's trying to make baby steps to get into at a point where she feels comfortable, if that makes sense. So, I understand Mia really wants her mom around, but she also has to be understanding of the mom's condition with her addiction and previous things that have happened in the mom's life, and she needs to be okay with taking baby steps with her according to how the mom wants to get herself into the relationship with her. So anyway, moving right along, once she gets off the phone with her mom, Mia kind of discusses Candace and Chris's relationship with G, her husband, talking about how she doesn't understand, she doesn't know how this manager, like husbander relationship is going to work. And they have flashbacks and talk about how in their relationship with G having all 14 centers, how she's taking on more of a business role, how they really kind of bumped heads in the beginning because she felt like she didn't want G like bossing her around, telling her what to do when she started helping. So that business relationship had to be separated from the personal relationship. And she's just kind of talking to him about how she doesn't want to see any turmoil happen in Candace and Chris's relationship because they don't seem to be navigating that business and husband and wife relationship very well. Which, I understand Mia being concerned, but I also feel like she also needs to mind her business. That's their relationship. Let them navigate the relationship however they see fit, because when you stick your nose in somebody else's marriage and in somebody else's business, then you risk getting that nose slapped, okay? And Candace ain't one to just be like hunky-dory. I love that term from Kathy Hilton about somebody being all up in her business. So you better tread lightly, Miss Mia. So Karen meets with her publicist to discuss her candle and how her candle is different. She talks about how her candle is different from Wendy's child because it got 3 wicks or whatever the case may be. Listen, Karen, you got a candle. It's coming out. We ain't seen Wendy's, moving right along. Speaking of Wendy, Wendy sits down to talk to her husband about her essential line and her candles, and basically she does a whole lot of rambling about why she want, what the candle, this and that and the third, but she doesn't have any of the financials put together. And Eddie basically tells her, okay, that's all good, well and good. You have the concept of why you want to do the candle, but you don't know anything about the, financial logistics, or you don't have any idea what the financial projections are going to be, how much this is going to cost, things of that nature. So he basically told her she needed to go back to the drawing board, because really the financial piece of it is the biggest part, right? You need to know how much the materials cost to make it. You need to know how much money you plan on making from this. Who's your target audience? Who do you want to love this candle? How much money do you plan to make off of this candle? How do you plan on marketing the candle? Who are you going to partner with to get the candle out there? Do you have a website? Are you going to have a website? Are you going to set this stuff up yourself? Like, it's a lot of things that go into it behind the scenes. You can have a candle made all day, but you need to know how you're going to market that thing and how you're going to actually make money from it. So, moving right along, in the next scene, Ashley goes to visit her family at Uncle Lump's house. And she starts talking about her the prolapse of her uterus in front of everyone. Now, listen, Ashley, now we understand that you done gave life 2 times, okay? But don't nobody want to know about your damn coochie falling out. And that's your uncle. That is very inappropriate, talking about that in front of your uncle. Now, I know your family a little weird anyway, child, but that is absolutely disgusting, okay? And your uncle looked like he couldn't even enjoy his food, and your cousins look damn near like they wanted to kick your ass out. That's disgusting. Keep it to yourself. You and your coochie. The only person should know about what's going on with your hole is your sex tunnel is your husband. Okay, so leave that alone and don't be talking about that around nobody, cause don't nobody care. You showed your placenta, now you talking about your coochie falling out, child. I done seen and heard it all. I don't want to hear no more about your body parts, Ashley. Now stop it and knock it off. Moving right along. They discussed the nanny and how she's actually happy to have an attractive nanny. And then the mom basically says, yeah, we don't need to worry about the nanny, because I think we made it pretty clear, that we're not going to tolerate him cheating. And I'm like, if he gonna cheat on her, he gonna cheat on her. He don't give a good goddamn about what the hell y'all saying, because frankly, ain't he financing your life? So what are you saying? Like, if he gonna cheat, he gonna cheat. It don't matter what the hell y'all got to say about it, honestly. So then they discuss Michael jumping into the movie industry and how they learned how to make sure their business together doesn't affect their marriage. They kind of had flashbacks of the restaurant, which I actually had a chance to go to their restaurant. And it was a cute little menu. I liked some of the food that they had, and I tried some different things. But I could see that, this is definitely a situation where these are novice people opening up a restaurant. You got to be very hands-on with a restaurant. And if you watch my reviews for Love and Marriage Huntsville, I talk about that as well. I think Ashley and Michael are a classic example of how you can have an idea about a restaurant, but the restaurant industry is very hard, okay? So you got to be very hands-on and be willing to put some blood, sweat, and tears into that business for at least the first 3 years. And if you're not willing to do that, you just might as well call it a wrap like they did. Sorry about that. Excuse me, y'all. So in the next scene, we see Robin and Juan, and they're going to look at spaces for Robin's business that caters to small businesses at this place called the Roll Up. And Robin says she's had over 15,000 orders and grosses about $60,000 a month from her sales. So she's going through the things that her life coach has told her to do, and she's kind of checking off the list. And this is one of the bigger things, which is get your business in order. Get your own space. Start to take charge of your life as far as your finances and within where it comes to your business. So they also discuss the rent, which is going to be about $1,700 to $2,000 a month for this warehouse space. And then Robin expresses her concerns because they're $100,000 over apparently on the budget to build their house. So she's like, okay, if we over on the budget on the house, do I really want to be splurging on getting this warehouse space? But I'm like, Robin, you need the damn space. I mean, hell, get this space for now until your house is ready. Then when your house is ready, do it in your basement. Run your business out of your basement, because I'm pretty sure you'll have enough space in this big ass house y'all trying to build. So, make adjustments later on. But right now, as of right now, if you're making $60,000 a month, that's more than enough money for you to be able to manage paying the mortgage on this new house and footing the bill for this space. So, listen, live within your means, child. Shit, I don't know. Don't get no big ass house if that's not gonna work for you. Like, I don't understand why people gotta go and buy all this house and then can't afford it later. But anyway, Robin says, she doesn't want things to come crashing down, thinking about the finances and all these different things. And Juan tells her to think big. And Robin discusses her feelings with Juan and how she feels like he's coaching her all the time and she needs him to be a little softer with her. And he jokingly says she should have had a girl instead of two boys. Maybe then he would have been softer with her. So they have a good laugh about that, and then he agrees that he will be softer with her and that, she should go ahead and get the warehouse space and go and he wants to support her in whatever decision she makes to grow her business. So the next, let me go back to him saying she should have had a girl. Some people I've watched some other people's videos where they had an issue with that, but I just think that that's the dynamic of their relationship, and it was just a way for him to again express how much he really wants to have another baby with her, and preferably another girl. So I don't think he really meant anything negative by that. I think that's just their way of, their little banter, if you will. So in the next scene, Candace practices dancing for her video and discusses how she spent over $10,000 to shoot the video. And she called Chris to discuss the cars and the location for the video. Candace is still frustrated with Chris because she's mad that he's not going to be at the video shoot to support her. And she just wants to make sure everything is going to go well because she's trying to get, create a footprint in the music industry. And this video in her realm and mindset is going to help her to kind of create that breakthrough performance that everybody is going to see. So she wants to make sure that everything looks good and everything comes out well. So I understand that if you're really going to put your time and energy into something, you want it to be right. So Candace is frustrated. She gets Chris on the phone. They kind of bicker back and forth about how they talk to each other versus him being her manager or husband, and how she feels like he'd be talking slick to her. And he's like, I'm not talking slick. I'm just trying to tell you, the world don't revolve around you, and the sun gonna go down at this point. So you got to do that. I'm just like, oh my God, y'all are just so childish. I feel like Chris can be the calm to the storm that is Candace sometimes because she is very childish. But I think sometimes he can be a little childish too, which may be why the hell they damn together, because both of them acting like rugrats together, child. I don't know. But moving right along. In the next scene, which is pretty much the last long scene, everybody arrives at the video shoot. Candace's ass ain't even there, but her mama arrives, and Mia asks the mama how old she is, and Mama Dorothy says she's 54. First of all, Mia, that's very disrespectful to ask somebody how old they are. You don't never ask a woman her age. Like, isn't that like common sense? I think she felt like she was giving Miss Dorothy a compliment because she felt like she looked young. But you don't never ask nobody. That's just tacky and weird. Why you need to know how much old that lady is? Move on. So anyway, Mia asked Candace's mom if Chris was coming. The director tells Candace the cars aren't coming. And then Dorothy is saying the husband being the manager isn't going to work. So basically they over there proving Candace's mama right that this basically ain't gonna be a good situation. So Mia agrees and says that's why her and her husband had to separate the work from the relationship. So she, I just feel like Mia is internalizing this stuff that's going on with Candace, or maybe she trying to find a way to have a problem with somebody else other than Wendy. Who knows? But she just seems to be too invested in what's going on with Chris and Candace. So Mia asked Dorothy if Chris was getting paid as a manager. And Wendy and the scholar walk away because they like, listen, I don't want no parts of what messy Mia over here trying to do. Okay. You all up in that girl's business. And Wendy, like, I ain't trying to tear no families down. So I'm not about to ask her no questions about what the heck Chris is doing. That ain't none of my business. And I'm just going to act like none ya. And I'm going to walk the hell off here because ain't nobody going to say I had nothing to say. So everyone is glad she asked. Basically, everybody's talking about how that was tacky that Mia asked the question, but all of them seem to be glad that she asked because they were like, oh, she shouldn't ask, but I do want to know. What she say? I'm like, yo, child, y'all are so petty. So anyway, Karen and the director, basically, after he says that the cars are not coming, Candace asked Karen and Ascala if she can use their cars for the video. So their cars are pulled up and they get in position. So Dorothy tells Karen she wants Chris to move up and do better in his career. And Karen is kind of like, you got the mic on now. Don't be talking about this stuff on here. We on TV, girl. So Karen trying to give the mama a little bit of a heads up. But I think Dorothy loved being messy. And I think she knew. She was like, yeah, I know I got a mic on. She wanted to trash Chris on national TV. And at this point, I'm like, this dude is your son-in-law. And your daughter obviously loves him. Stop trying to embarrass her on national TV. You're not even a cast member. And you being messy. So, So Karen basically doesn't entertain any of that because she's like, listen, me and Candace already on a rough patch. I ain't trying to get into nothing with that. So Chris ends up showing up with his apron on and he seems to be upset that the cars aren't there. Candace says she doesn't need his negative energy and that he was being an asshole. So I'm like, you want him to be your manager. He's coming up. He's pissed because things are not working out the way that he expected them to. I just think y'all need to break up this little relationship of manager and, just let him be your husband. Let him do his own thing because clearly he's not passionate about this stuff. You need somebody that's going to be on top of it, and you need to be able to have the emotions that you need to have with whoever you need to have them with because they're on your payroll, not because it's your husband and you're pissed at him for not being there for you and for not taking care of shit properly. So Dorothy says it's okay for Chris to be upset, but don't show out. Basically, don't be making a damn scene now. So Robin says he didn't want to take his apron off. And Dorothy says Chris was at the house cooking and he's supposed to be making money from that. Like real sarcastic like. And Robin asks, do you think he's getting comfortable? And then Dorothy says he's doing some side gig. I don't know, unemployment, something. I'm like, this lady know too much about their daggone finances. So Dorothy says he's doing some side gig. Robin says that's a big old house. And Dorothy says, I'm not saying anything about that. Which, quiet as it's kept, allegedly, Dorothy's name is on this house too. From what somebody I saw on another YouTube channel where apparently her name on this house too, allegedly. Okay. So Candace, you might as well stay in the damn townhouse. At least she was down in the mix and whatnot in the National Harbor. And why you need this big ass house? You ain't got no chick nor child. I don't understand. But whatever. You like it, I love it. So Robin asked, do you think he's okay. Y'all, let me pay attention now. The ladies, so basically they move on from that. The ladies dance it out, finish the video. Chris goes over to Candace and says he was upset about the cars, and Candace hops on him, happy to see him. Then Giselle says to Dorothy, of course her messy ass had to jump in wherever she saw fit. So Giselle says, I did tell Candace I feel like he was riding her coattails. And I'm like, why did you have to tell her mama that? You over there fueling the fire. So in Candace's confessional, even though she was all up in Chris's grill, she says, Chris did mess up and she doesn't know how to move forward with him as her husband, which I think she meant she don't know how to move forward with him being her manager, which honestly, I think she needs to just go ahead and find somebody else that's going to handle all the logistics as far as her career and let Chris be her supportive husband, not the manager. Okay. And if you can't afford to pay a manager, then maybe you really not as passionate about the things that you want to do as you think you are. Okay. So I don't know. This episode was, whatever. But I feel like you're gonna get those filler episodes throughout the season. So hopefully we get a little bit more action in the next episode. So anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Help a sister out, y'all. Y'all love my content. I see you watching the videos. Just go and hit that like and comment and subscribe. And help me out, all right? I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Peace out.